I want to know, like, what was your defining moment when you knew that you needed to implement better boundaries?
Being a severe people pleaser with no boundaries has literally ruined my life. So I don't even remember who gave me that book. I do. It was my friend Brandy that worked with me, and she was telling me about the book that she was reading, and I was like, I like to read. I'm going to listen to it, you know. So I started listening to the book. I'm like, so they've been following me my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in my pockets. They had to be because everything in this book was literally everything that I had experienced my whole life. And it was just so like, how do I fix this?
Mm.
Because I don't like this. Like,
Yeah.
this is the part about me that I absolutely hate and I can't overcome it. And that book was the part where it kind of really like was the aha moment. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you really need help. Like,
Yeah.
you're not normal. This is not normal. Normal people have boundaries. You really need to work on yours.
Yeah. And I remember you, because you were telling me your story about it when you were telling me about the book. And I'm like, okay, that's good. You know, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you were telling me your story and you were talking about at the time the person that you needed to implement boundaries with the most. And
Uh-huh.
you were grown
Yeah.
and you were talking about how you needed to implement them with your mom.
Mm-hmm. And I think at that moment, I think it was the most broken I've ever been.
Mm.
And because I had made a choice to marry somebody that she completely said no to,
Mm.
I was in that place of everything's her fault, nothing's my fault moment, you
Mm.
know? So I was trying to have boundaries against her, but really I needed boundaries for myself.
Mm.
Like I was out of control.
Mm.
And she was just saying, hey, this is not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And she was right. Mom, you were right. Okay, you were right. But it was true. It was not a good idea. And I
Mm-hmm.
was so mad at her because she wasn't doing what I wanted her to do or
Mm.
participate in this delusional event that I was participating in.
Mm.
And I was mad.
What do you
So
mean she didn't participate?
she didn't come to the wedding. Like she
Oh,
completely
wow.
said, I do not agree. I don't condone this marriage. No, this is not good for you, and I will not be participating.
Oh, my gosh.
So she did not come to my wedding. She did not participate. She took a hard boundary, a hard stance, and said no.
That's, first of all, that's my one. That's literally my first time ever hearing
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that because we definitely live in a society where, like, especially for parents, they tell them, like, oh, you're supposed to support your child no matter what. Like, you're supposed to show up. They're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to know that they can count on
Mm-hmm.
you. Looking back, are you upset or do you understand her choice or do you still wish she had come to the wedding or
I understand her choice. I
yeah.
respect her choice and I understand it because I was truly delusional. Um, um, I had made a choice. Like part of my story is that I never made a choice for myself.
Mm,
So it was always somebody telling me what I should do with my life.
mm-hmm.
So when I finally said, I am going to make a choice, I'm standing on business. This is the choice that I'm making. I'm standing 10 toes down in it. And she said, well, I'm not supporting your choice. And I was like you should be excited that I'm finally making a choice for myself. And she's like, no, if you're going to make this choice, you're going to do it by yourself.
Mm,
And at first, I was so mad, so disappointed. But her taking that step back allowed God to become the biggest person in my life, to become the
mm,
biggest voice in my life. God could not be God in my life if she was still God in my life for me.
mm.
So unfortunately, it was so painful. It hurt so bad, but it literally throwed me into the arms of Christ, and I had to learn how to lean on Him and not lean on people.
Yeah.
So it really catapulted my relationship with God in the weirdest way, but I was still in very much so denial as if it was still everybody else's fault and not my fault that I was in that situation.
That's really good because it's hard when you're in the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have told people before because God gave me this revelation. It don't mean I always listen to it or like it or
Right,
understand it,
right, right.
but He would say, Aisha, why are you upset with people with the things that I've allowed them to do? I was using them. I allowed them to drop you. I allowed
Mm-hmm.
them to, like move away in that season, or I allowed them to leave in that season, or stop talking to you in that season, and you're mad at them, but I'm the one that allowed it because this is, and this and this and this is what I wanted to do in you. And although I know it, it doesn't make it less difficult in the moment.
It still hurts. And I think that's what it was. It's like I had leaned on her so much. She had became God for me, and I was doing things that were to her approval. And God was saying something else, but I could not hear God's voice because her voice was the loudest voice in my life.
So what is in that area, in that relationship, in that role that she played where she was the loudest voice, what would you say is your biggest regret? Like in that season, a decision that you made, maybe that she encouraged, or she said, like, this is what you need to do. Like, do you have any major regrets from that time?
Well, it stems a little deeper than just that time. That time was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode. You've heard from us. Now we want to hear from you. I do prayer videos every single day. Comment your name and what you want me to pray for below, and follow me on any social platform at I'm Ieshia Danielle so that you'll be able to see when your prayer video gets posted. Until next time, see you later.